And we are recording.
Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining this webinar, all of you and people that are watching it for after the fact. So the very first part here is I wanted to kind of introduce for you, all of you that don't know anything about Cognomovement, I want to introduce you to Cognomovement and what that is and what it is and how it works. So bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just going to share my screen here for you. Okay. So what Cognomovement is we discovered that your body can force your mind to break a cycle. It completely break repetitive patterns in your life, and where you are no longer feeling and thinking the same anymore. It's not like you're trying to do it through a force of will. It just is gone. So the basically what Cognomovement is a bilateral exercise where you say the color that you see for this ball, and on either side of your body, you catch the ball on either side and you say the color you see while focused on a particular issue. So the patterns that you have developed in your life basically get collapsed, if you will. And this happens now we have it down to about 5 minutes or so would be a typical session where things go from very high to near zero or zero, and you no longer have those experiences anymore and those thoughts anymore. So the uses for it are so many that it kind of sounds ridiculous, but cravings, weight loss, emotional stress caused by all kinds of things, the loss of a loved one, change in situations, you name it. But we focus on this thing that's causing the stress, and in a short period of time, it'll typically process. So the way it works is your brain sees the ball on the right side. It recognizes three-dimensional objects in time and space, and the left side of your brain sees the colors and symbols that are on this ball. So we're occupying both halves of the brain. Plus, everywhere you catch it, it fires off what they call a place cell in your brain, which is part of a complex network. We've also have incorporated where the eye positions. So everywhere your eyes look, it activates a different part of the brain. So with this knowledge, we are doing the exercise in elevating ourselves through physically different levels, from low up to high, altitude-wise. And as we do this, it activates different parts of the brain. Not only that, but what happens is these energy centers that have been known for millennia, here that you can see, these are very real, and you get to typically feel them. So let's say that you've got a problem with a relationship and you feel like you can't speak up because of repercussions and fears, right? And maybe it hurts right here, when you're doing the exercise, and then maybe it moves up to your throat and you feel like you're going to cough or choke, and maybe it moves up in your middle of your head. You'll have kind of a pressure or headache, for a period of time, and then It's gone. So, and as it moves through your body, also the intensity level decreases. These are all very natural. The cool thing is that now where we knew something was happening with these energy centers that you see here. We knew it was happening, but we didn't have proof. But today we have something called the biowell. And this biowell, it actually, you put your finger in it and it takes a picture, if you will, of your energy field. And we can actually see now the areas that you physically felt it when you were choking are the exact same areas that were affected. Bear with me. I'll show you some pictures of that. But it'll show you areas that were. This is the picture of the finger, and every little part of the picture that we took with this, it showed you the energy for, let's say, your eye, your nose, your teeth, all kind of every area. And consequently, this is a real life person who had a betrayal, and everywhere they felt something in their body, they were choking over here in their throat. This is before and after, and they felt, pain in their solar plexus and heat in their belly. Everywhere they felt these things is the exact same area that it showed up in the report. So it's really cool. Now we do have a seminar coming up. It's September 20th through the 22nd, and you'll get tested kind of before and after with the work that you do, because you'll actually do the work and you'll actually become certified as a practitioner. So what I just wanted to kind of get through the basics of this is what Cognomovement is. The nature of it is that you don't have to say anything about the problem. They just have to focus on it, and then you catch the ball and say the color. And the preceding an actual action or mental state is, for lack of a better term, a pattern. So if you have a craving, there's a pattern to it. There's been a pattern in your life. If you have sleep problems, or if you have stress that you're involved in, this is also a pattern of thought, and but it starts with a pattern, and then you have your feeling, and then it generates thoughts. So your thoughts and feelings are very much interconnected, and one influences the others. If you have just a little bit of awareness, I always like to use this one, and it finally, I finally got it. But you wake up in the morning, let's say, and you don't feel good. You can feel kind of irritated or whatever, and then you search why, and then you attach something to it. I feel it's because of this person, and blah blah blah. Well, you've basically you're having a feeling, and then you associate a thought, and then the thought stimulates a feeling. So you kind of go in circle. So don't believe the things you're thinking in the morning, especially if they're negative. If you do have an opportunity, though, to life and get rid of those, because those things stuck, if you will, your feelings stuck in these energy centers will stimulate thoughts. Okay, so that is just kind of a start. With that, I want to kind of stop for a second here and see if anybody has any questions. So if you could manage that, just walk down the list, see if we have anybody with any questions, comments that I can clarify things. Anybody, you can unmute yourself if you like. Anyone? No questions? Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is, for some of you, especially on this call here, I want to get you up to speed on some new discoveries. And so I can help you to become more efficient. There's some practitioners already on the phone. I want you to become more efficient and be able to take it from the 15 minutes before down to the 5 minutes that we're now seeing. So it used to be that we simply just did left, right, and that was it. And it would take 15 minutes, sometimes a lot longer. But what we discovered is that you can, if you have the person, what you do, and this goes, if you're doing it against a wall, you just start at the waist level. And you say, orange, you're throwing against the wall, or you're having the person catch the ball, orange, purple.
Hey everybody, it appears we have Bill is frozen. Hey Bill.
Yes.
Can you hear me? You froze.
Okay.
We're getting a bad internet signal on your screen. I don't know what that means. It's red. The other thing is we can't see you. We need you to give us your full screen.
Oh, okay. Here, let me stop sharing. And
there you go. Yeah, so whatever you were saying just before, you'll have to share it again because we lost you for a minute.
Okay, what is the last thing that I said?
You were talking, you started to talk about how to use the ball in a shorter period of time.
Okay, sounds good. Can you see me full screen now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Okay, so here we go. So the very first thing I want to show you is that what you do to speed up this process is you catch the ball down at the hip level, and you say orange, blue, green, yellow, red, but you're obviously ricocheting it off the wall, right? So you're going left and right, and you start, let's say, you start going left, right, and or if you're throwing the person a ball, you throw it to them, middle, and then higher, and then higher and higher. Okay, so maybe you're going to do 15 or passes, left, right, but you're going up the body, and you're keeping them focused on the issue. When you get to the top, you hold out the ball, and what you do, I'm going to turn around so you see this happen, is you pick one of the colors, and you go in a figure eight. It's the infinity symbol. Hopefully you can see me okay. I'll show it to you from this angle. It's the infinity symbol. And you just lock on to one color and do the infinity symbol. Okay? Then you do the infinity symbol high to low, high to low. Okay? And then infinity symbol on the periphery, high to low, high to low. And on the other side, high to low. Okay? You walk in a figure eight, and then shift positions. So let's say I was doing this here. Now move and do it physically the exact same thing. Low to high, the infinity, right? The infinity symbols, and then the figure eight, and then next round, shift positions again. Do the exact same thing. If you do this, it is remarkable. The amount of time, and in between each one, you check in and see where you felt it. Let's say you felt it in your belly. It'll quickly move to another area, or usually that's the hardest one that gets stuck at the very first one. And as soon as that thing starts moving, away you go. So it'll move from one to the next until it's gone. So that's the new process, and it should help you to move things not only much faster, people become less fatigued, and it's fairly simple. And I'll just go ahead. I'll stop. I hear a question.
It's actually just me, Bill. I wondered if you would back up just a little bit and walk everybody through, because you started talking about how we are using this for patterns and how we're really breaking patterns. So if a person were going to use this for themselves, would you back up a little bit and talk about, for example, a craving, because Cognomovement works so great for craving. Like, where in their process how might they use it, and what would they focus on as they start the process? So you're showing how to use it for yourself. Walk up through how they would actually go about getting ready to do that process, when to use it, and why they would use it.
Liz, I love the way you explain this about times of day and what's going on and who's in your life and all these other things. I love the way you do that. Would you mind taking that one?
Wow, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
Yeah. But you have a really wonderful way of flowing through it. You have a gift for this.
Okay. So what I was referring to is that, Cognomovement is one of those things that is so fast to use, and you can use it for yourself, and you can use it with your clients, especially and specifically in breaking patterns. So when we started to build the cravings protocol and all that kind of thing, my first questions were, what's the pattern? What's the pattern? What are you doing? So, like, for example, if a person has a craving for, Coke, Leah was our example for soda, right? Her pattern was that she would walk in her front door, and immediately the mind chatter would start. What didn't I get done today? What do I still need to get done today? What do I have to do at my house? What do I need to do next week? So for her, it's the minute she puts her hand on the door and opens, after a day of work, that's when her cycle starts. Her pattern begins there. The next pattern is she goes in and puts things down. The next pattern is she starts to look for soda in the fridge. So for Leah, it's when she walks through the door, that's when, if she's still having a craving, which she doesn't anymore because we broke the pattern in the office, but that would be when she would start to use her ball to break that habit, break that pattern, and to feel better. So, the pattern starts, and what we noticed is that when your mind chatter starts, your body starts noticing. You start to feel uncomfortable. You start to feel maybe anxiety in the chest. Maybe your head pounds, or maybe it's just this obsession with the thing you want to have that calms your body. So that was the other thing we found out, that once a person does the habit that they do, like in her case, drinking soda, for a few minutes only, her body settles and the mind chatter stops and she feels better. So that's the whole reason for the craving, whole reason for the habit, right? With Cognomovement, we derail that and we create that good feeling through the ball. So for her, that would be the thing. She would just grab her ball, have it in a place where you can see it when your pattern's going to start, and do the process that Bill just showed. And it really, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute collapses that pattern. So, for me as a practitioner, but also as a user of Cognomovement, that's an incredible thing to be able to stop the pattern in its tracks, for one, and get the great feeling that I'm looking for when I do the behavior.
So there's kind of a two parts here, two parts, but I really love it. The one part, right, is if you focus on the actual craving itself, right, I and really engulf yourself in it, that um, that is attached to somewhere in your center line. Some one of these energy centers, it's attached somewhere in there. There was a link in between, you know what? I was out with my dad and I having a great time when I was a little kid, and we drank soda together and it was great, and we were at the fair and I felt great. But you don't know that, you forgot it, right? There's a connection in between taste and feeling really good and comfortable, right? And so when you don't feel so good, right, we all want to go back to what's comfortable and how it's going to make us feel good. So that is associated. We grab something physical in the environment. When we have a good experience, right, whatever good experience that is, with our five senses, we have connected to what's going on in our exterior world. So we globbed on to something in our exterior world. Coffee, yeah. Comfort, the comfort of a good conversation and, being accepted. Coffee, right? So anyway, what happens is we basically break that cycle through processing that out of the energy, which you physically feel it out of the energy centers, and now that pattern doesn't exist anymore. One of the things Liz is referring to is that not only can you process this, so you're kind of what I call craving amnesia or emotional amnesia for I hate that person, and now you know what happened, but you just forgot. I don't feel that way. You're not like you're trying not to feel that way. You just don't. So with that, also what Liz is saying, and this is part of the practitioner course, is that you can flip the switch, where it's replaced with something positive. And I'm going to a segue here. I'm going to make you walk into something, Liz. I want you to tell the example of the flipping the switch with the woman who suffered severely with anxiety, and then tell her the story of what happened this week. And then I'm going to tell another story of a couple, and you guys are going to love this one. Go ahead.
So this is a really good story, actually. So I have a client that I've worked with for a long time, about a year and a half now, severe anxiety. And recently, we got her through a lot of things, but recently she was in the office and I was working with her at the ball. I actually was thinking about her as a practitioner because she is a highly sensitive, highly intuitive person, and she really digs this work. So I was working with her at the ball, and she said, I'm ready to be done with her social anxiety, or what she called self-consciousness, severe self-consciousness, like can't order in a restaurant self-consciousness, can't go into a store alone self-consciousness, right? So we worked with her with the ball. The self-consciousness was in her body. It was a feeling that she experienced in her body. She thought it was just something that was happening in her mind, but obviously we know from those chakra centers it wasn't. It's in the body. So we worked with the ball. It was, that piece of her session was 10 minutes, no longer than 10 minutes. And we were able to eliminate from her body that feeling of self-consciousness. What was funny is we do what's called a test. We test, we operate, we test. We kind of see what happens before, we do our process, and we test again. So my test was, let's walk you through a job interview, which was terrifying and fast. So we're walking through, okay, you're on the phone with the interviewer, you you're then, you know, they're having you come in, that kind of thing. And each step of the way, I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but her eyes are looking back and forth. And she's looking for the self-conscious sensation. And she's funny, she's like, this is annoying. I can't find it. She literally had that amnesia you're talking about, Bill. Like she could not find that emotion of self-consciousness in her body. So next step, you're walking into the job interview and her eyes are going at neutral space. You guys remember we're talking about eye accessing zones. They're neutral, looking for that. And she starts laughing, you know, about how irritating it is. So then we did the flip the switch. And we reinstalled with the same process you just saw Bill do. We installed, you know, not only am I not self-conscious, but I'm kind of the best there is. So obviously any job wants me, right? We installed some real self-confidence, some real, which she already has, but wasn't able to show. And ended on this really high note, you know, eyes up high, feeling very high in the body and feeling really aligned and great in the chakra system. So that was great. So I happened to actually see her this week at a social event. And it was a game. And at this game, I noticed, I actually didn't notice, she was leaning over her chair, yelling across the room at somebody else, laughing and joking and teasing with somebody, literally across the room where she had to raise her voice to do it. And I mean, you know, everybody does that, but she never did because she was so self-conscious. And she walked over to me and said, see what you did to me? You made me obnoxious. Look at me, I'm yelling across the room at people teasing and laughing. And she felt so good. And she looked incredibly comfortable in her own skin, smiling and radiant and enjoying being around all these other people. So for me as a practitioner, it's incredibly rewarding to actually see what it looks like in the real world afterwards. So that's my story.
That's awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to tell one more story, and then I'm going to open it up to everybody else's stories because I want to hear what's going on with everybody and if anybody's had any new stuff happen. But I had a couple this week, and this couple is in business together, and the relationship was collapsing, and so it was do or die, right? It was they came to me on the as the very last hope, and anyway, we had them basically. I had them just feel what they feel, like I hate you, you suck, that type of thing, and doing the process that I just showed you, and physically moving as we're doing the process. Anyway, it's now about 1 week later, and they walked out of the session, right? No longer hating each other, and obviously, when you're in a situation like that, the last thing that's going on is intimacy, right? It's like, get out of here. Nobody wants anything to do with each other. Not only has all that blossomed like never before, never in their relationship have they experienced the levels of intimacy now, because the barriers are gone, and now the business is flourishing. So we basically collapsed the cycles, and doing this as a working with a couple, when you can collapse both parts of the cycle, for both of them, when they do it, things move incredibly fast. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. We do have techniques that you're going to learn at the seminar in person for that, specifically, as you work with them together. We've developed protocols for that, and it's anyway, can't wait to share them with you. It's good and exciting stuff. Anyway, Anyone had any experiences that they would like to share with us? Please, please step up and share whatever's been going on. Any people you've worked with? Liz?
Yeah, actually,
Do they need to be unmuted or?
no, I'm not seeing
No?
anybody raising their hand. Guys,
Okay. All right.
if you're trying to unmute yourself and can't, please go into the chat um, and let me know, and I'll unmute you if you.
Okay.
But you know what, Bill? I wanted to comment that on your story about the couple. That is incredible. People go to therapy for, marriage and family therapy for years sometimes that don't get that kind of result that you got in one session. And I just wanted to comment about that because there's a reason. And the reason is that lots of times the habit, the pattern, the cycle that you're referring to is not necessarily anything real. If you can see, my hands are in quotations.
Yeah.
But it's a pattern. So I do this, so you do that. Because you do that, I do this. And then it ramps up and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so the beauty for a practitioner to be able to just figure out what the cycle is, figure out where it starts, and collapse that calibrated loop, you're done in 15 minutes or an hour, or they're not coming back to you until something else comes up. So
yeah,
considering becoming a practitioner, think about the way that you could help people in your life breaking those cycles. And each and every problem that we do have, you can bring it back down to a cycle. It's a pattern that just gets going somewhere. And if you can figure out how to collapse it, you can collapse the problem.
Yeah, correct. There's a pattern. There's that exact pattern, and it's between those two people, and it's stuck here in me, and it's stuck there in you, and we, by processing it in both places, it's done. But this particular one was really severe, right? And I worked with them. I would say, for a couple hours. It probably took me a couple hours, of moving one issue after the next issue, and then that one would be solved, and then we'd move to the next one. And so we were like uncovered multiple layers. But anyway.
So how did that work, Bill? Did you do with the all of the new modality, the shorter? Were you doing a combination of 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, 45 seconds, or how was your process with that?
The process was each individual. We went one person. The man, do the man, and have him focus on his big problem and how he felt about whatever's going on, and for the kind of the first major thing. And I would do the high to low, and then the affinity symbols, and then have him walk a figure eight and move position. And it was merely that, repeatedly, right? Keep moving, and move it fast. And so that was that happened for the man and the woman, and we also did things with them together, and some other new techniques that we're going to share in the session on at the live training, because you're going to get to experience it. Be fun to have a couple, that attend.
Yeah, that would be really fun. So
yeah,
guys, we're at this juncture. I just want to share with those of you who aren't already signed up and coming, that the training in September is September. I almost said July. September 20th through the 22nd. So it's a full 3 days. It's a full practitioner certification training, along with at least one and possibly two secrets of the masters that Bill will teach every day. We are going to introduce and use daily what is called the Cogno Circle or Cogno Group. So you will, by experience, learn how to use Cogno Movement with a group as well. And you will have BioWell, which is the BioWell testing. It tests your chakras before and after, so you can see the changes and what's happening. So the cost for that, I believe, is $6.99 for that class. And you do have, if you have not joined and you want to, you will actually have a 1-hour session with Bill, which is outside of your exit interview, because you'll have an exit interview when you receive your certification, after you do your practice sessions. But a 1-hour session with Bill to work on whatever the heck you want to work on, which is worth about $500. So if you do want that. For Mina and for Elizabeth, because you have attended or are already a practitioner, the class is half off if you sign up for it. So you just have to let me know you want to do that. So in moving forward also, Bill, I wonder if people on the call might have a pattern they might want to talk about. What do you think? Would you be willing to field some questions on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's one question, I think, while you guys are thinking about that. Can the BioWell be purchased during training? So I don't sell the BioWell. I'm certified on it. I bought it and went through the whole training program. And I can, if you'd like, I can get you to the world's probably the best trainer that's in the world. She actually had much to do with writing the book about the BioWell, which is this book here. So anyway, I'll happy to get you over to her. And you can purchase BioWell. I think these are about $2,600. And then the actual training is another $500 and 3 days, 3 on-site days of training. That's happens to be in just north San Diego. Now I don't know when her next one is, but you let me know and I'll put you two together. She's really knowledgeable. I've learned so much other great stuff from her. Love her. So, okay. Open to any. Matter of fact, there's some information, Annette, that since you asked, there's kind of valuable information that I'll share with you on the BioWell. Since you're going to be an actual certified practitioner, I can share with you real life data on, let's say, what different things look like. There's amazing discoveries that have been made. I don't know if you watch I have an interview on YouTube that you can watch called Proof of What Heals Us. And you can go to YouTube and watch that. And it's a bunch of discoveries that are with the BioWell that I think you'll love to watch, because it really is mind blowing once you kind of understand it.
Okay, but we have a question. So this is from Jeannie, and it says, how about the pattern of not being able to start using the ball? Great one. I've had it for several months, look at it and tell myself to use it, and I just can't start. Hence, getting on this seminar and the one last week and trying to learn more about how it works and maybe get myself to actually do it. Maybe we can have her do it while you walk her through it, Bill.
Jeannie, so is there any practitioners around you that you could get together with? So I guess that's the first question.
She's in Rhode Island, it looks like, Bill.
Oh, you're in Rhode Island. Oh, okay. I don't know. Do we know of anybody who's in Rhode Island area that?
I don't think so, but I'm wondering if Jeannie has her ball near her now, we could walk her through it.
Okay, Jeannie, you ready?
She walked right into that one, didn't she?
You did see people are walking into stuff today. Okay, Jeannie. So here's what you'd like you to do is to, if it's possible for you, is do you have a camera that you can activate your camera?
I think Jeannie, I think Jeannie may not have the ability to do that. She was with us last week.
Okay.
So you may have to demonstrate for us.
Okay. All right.
Have her pick up the ball
Okay, Jeannie,
and follow along.
Jeannie, here you go. Okay. All right. So so obviously you can watch me. So Jeannie, here it goes. Now, the very first thing is I want you to think about that kind of let yourself feel I really don't want to do this. I don't want to do this at all. Why would I, just whatever that feeling is, this procrastination. And let yourself feel it. Look down with your eyes and feel the I don't want to do this. Now, you get very, very close to the wall. I'll let you get there. Okay. I know you can't respond because of your thing, but and here we go. Just feel it. I want you to feel it completely and throw it against the wall. And orange, yellow, blue, red. Feel it. Red, yellow, green, blue. Feel the emotion of that. Blue, purple, red. Okay. And then figure 8. Feel the emotion. It's like, I don't really want to do this. I don't want to do it. Follow the symbol. Follow the symbol. I don't want to do this. It sucks. Why would I? And it's, I'd rather watch TV, or whatever. Let's go for a walk or something else. And then you do it this way, right? All right, and then
Hold on, we are having Okay, sorry, Bill. Go ahead. We had somebody join us and it was making a real high pitched noise. So go ahead.
Okay. All right. And now on the peripheral, okay. We did the left right infinity, and then here you go up and down infinity, high to low. Feel the feeling of I don't really want to do this. Right? And then the next one is over to the side here and on the periphery, high to low, infinity. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this exercise. Feel it. And then the other side, again, infinity symbol. Infinity. Okay, and then last, walk. I want you to walk now in a figure 8. I'm attached to the computer, so I can't really walk in a figure 8, but it's, you walk in a figure 8. Actually, I guess I could. I can do it. I don't know if you can see me or not, but I can do it. Okay, now, I'm not able to switch positions, but I want you to switch to another wall, physically move to a different wall, and again, do the exact same thing. Low to high, orange, purple, blue, red, yellow. Catch it with both hands on either side and go up, go all the way up, say the color, feel the feeling of procrastination. I don't want to do this. Why do I got to do it? I really don't feel like it. Feel it. Okay, and now the infinity, pick one color, infinity symbol. Okay, and then high and low infinity. Just pick one of the symbols and follow it. And then on the left side, infinity, I dropped my ball. And then on the right side, infinity. 2 seconds, I'll be right back.
So everybody, while Bill's picking up the ball, oh, he's back. Never mind.
Sorry about that. I dropped my ball.
It's Liz. I was just gonna, prompt everyone that, that was a real life, walkthrough for Jeannie. But if anybody had any questions about any of the things that Bill did, please unmute yourself and ask. I think we have a shy bunch this time.
Oh, it's very shy, very shy. We're going to do Cognomovement for shy. Okay. All right. So, Jeannie, if you could, I don't know if you have any comments or questions or anything on how that went for you. All right. She says, well, I've done it. Woo.
Woohoo, Jeannie!
All right. Well, you actually did it. All right. How do you feel about doing it now? Do you feel the same or any different? So I'll give her a second to answer. Oh, she feels lighter about it. Okay. There you go. There you go. So do that. I would say do that. Oh, okay. She says, I feel lighter about it. Like, now that I've done it, I can do it again with other issues. Ah, there we go. Perfect. All right.
Hey, Bill.
Yes.
This is Liz again. I would jump in just for a second. I want to share with you guys how I personally use it. I am the world's biggest procrastinator, and also incredibly proactive at the same time. So it's like got a little bipolar thing going there. So what I do is I have my ball right next to me in my office. And I really like the big beach ball because it's bright and colorful. And late in the afternoon, my pattern is I'm tired. And I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. I probably want to eat sugar. I'm just tired. And I still have to go home and be a mom and a wife. So I keep the ball where I can see it in the corner of my eye. The minute I notice that pattern, for me, it's inner voice, like I'm tired, I don't want to do anything, I'm cranky. I have made it my new pattern to pick up the ball. And all I tell myself is, well, I'm just going to pick up the ball. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to pick it up. Then, okay, I'll set my timer for a minute. And then, because it's just 1 minute, I do the process. I do the ball against the wall. And in that minute, I just feel better. I have energy for the evening. My creativity comes back. So for me, it's all about having it somewhere where I can see it, for using it personally. Awesome.
Well, we're coming up on an hour, and the other one thing I want to mention is for those of you who are Annette, you've already signed up for the course, but for anybody else that signs up, you get 10 Cognomovement balls. These are for use for you, or you can sell them to your clients as well. These are $40 each, and it comes with a website. They're $40 on Amazon. So it's a real another way to kind of support our and kick off all of our practitioners. I hope to see you in San Diego. It's going to be really fun. There's going to be so many new kind of tools and things that very few people know how to do effectively. The Secrets of the Masters alone is has taken basically my lifetime to accumulate. I can't do all of them because there's not enough time, but you're going to learn ones that are can significantly help to change your life and the life of others. So I'm looking forward to sharing those with you. Last chance for romance. Any other things that I can answer for anyone?
Mina was unmuted there for a second. Let me unmute her and see.
Okay.
Mina, darling, did you have a question?
Yes, I have a question about this infinity, sign on the peripheries. Should I keep my eyes looking straight and relaxed, or just I have to follow, on the side?
Okay, good question. So the head is straightforward, and maybe you can see my eyes. I'll go closer so you hardly see the ball. But when I go over as far as I can go to my periphery, and I follow it in my periphery.
Excellent.
You see that?
Yes, I've seen it. I was not sure what to do with it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When you do this, because you're a practitioner, the customer that you're helping, watch their eyes as you do it.
Okay.
The area that starts to shudder,
Yeah.
you go back and forth in that area until it's smooth.
Yes.
And then, wherever, and it could be anywhere. I mean, I've seen it like here, or it doesn't matter where it is, but either they won't put their eye there or it'll shudder, but you just go back and forth, and you'll smooth it out. And like that. I mean, it works so fast. This is harder to detect on you, because if I'm doing it for myself, right? I'm not necessarily noticing that I'm doing that. But if I'm doing it for somebody else as a practitioner, you'll see this, and you just imagine you're polishing it. You're polishing it out. Just have them follow.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I have another question, because you mentioned about to working with the couples, and you introduce new techniques. What about us who don't go to San Diego? How we can, learn this stuff?
So what I'll do is I'll have Liz organize. It will be for practitioner only, existing practitioner level 1, kind of a follow-up webinar just for you guys. And so it'll be just for practitioners, and here's some new tips and your techniques for level 1 practitioners. So,
hey Bill, let me jump in here for a second too. So Mina, in just a couple of days, for all of our existing practitioners, I'm sending out a new packet, which is from the second set of practitioner training. So a lot of new things already got added. So it'll look like something that you already have, but go ahead and click on each of those, because all of the, well, not all of it, but a lot of the updated things are there. The other half of that is that, we'll provide it for the practitioners, but we will eventually, probably late in the fall, almost winter, we will have an advanced training. At this point, we're starting to have so much new stuff, and some of the techniques do start to get advanced. You need to have a little experience, maybe to do the rapid method. Some of our practitioners are noticing that. So, and as you grow as a practitioner, these things really start to develop and blossom. And then you're ready for some more refining. So eventually, you know, before the year's out, we'll have an advanced session as well.
Thank you, Liz.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Liz keeps me on track. Well, I tell you what, thank you. Okay, great. Well, I will, I'll look forward to hopefully seeing all of you in San Diego. Let me know how I can best support you and help you. I'm open to getting an email from any of you at billmckennaevents@gmail.com so that I can help you and thereby enable you to help other people with whatever's going on. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you in San Diego.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.